Welcome into the good old-fashioned dislike where dynasties never die and hate is an extreme word, but just barely. This episode is brought to you by the University of North Alabama Christian Student Center. Check them out at facebook.com/UNACSC. We pick a football rivalry. We submit that rivalry to the panel of dislike. They will come up with reasons why we like one team, dislike one team, and vice versa. By the end, we come to a conclusion of where our loyalties lie, mainly based on non-football things. But that's what's so much fun. Be sure to tell us in the comments who you're rooting for when the Oregon State Beavers go on the road to mix it up with the Oregon Ducks. These teams met for the first time on November 3rd, 1894, and the Ducks lead the series 67-49-10. Now to the professionals of dislike. This week's golden dislike goes to those who criticize the November SEC Cupcake games, but their team only plays 3 real teams all year long. The uniform light goes to the Ducks unis that feature their dark green. Green is my favorite color. Orange is not. We get it, Oregon. Multiple unis is your gimmick, but changing them more than a woman hosting an award show gets a little ridiculous. Dislike. Canceling a great nickname for a football game, the Civil War, because of an overreaction. Dislike. Political correctness, trumping truth. All the dislikes, every one of them. Beavers versus Ducks is a realistic battle that could happen in Alabama. Like, if we mix Ducks and Beavers together, you get a platypus. Like, the winner of this game's alumni association gets the platypus trophy. Like, my top 5 odd creatures that I wish were not actually real. Number 5, the star-nosed mole. Number 4, Japanese spider crab. Number 3, the naked mole rat. Number 2, goblin shark. And number 1, Phil Fulmer. The Oregon Duck taking the field on a motorcycle. Like, Aflac commercials that sound like a bad joke. Primetime, the goat and a duck walk into an insurance commercial. Dislike. Corvallis sounds cooler than Eugene, but saying the Oregon State QB's last name, dislike. The song Eugene Eugenius, love. Oregon QB Bo Nix's last name rhyming with Pix, like. Give us the Ducks' greatest coach, Gordon Bombay, over both Dan Lanning and Jonathan Smith, like. The flying V formation, like. I always used to wonder why one side of the V is shorter than the other. Then dislike panel member Blake told me it's because there are more ducks on one side, like. The thought that animals figured out the need to migrate over millions of years of dying if they didn't. And if you'll buy that, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona. Dislike. The Portland Trailblazers. Meh. Their name for Lewis and Clark's expedition. Like. The true story of how the West was discovered. Almost Heroes, featuring Chris Farley and Matthew Perry. Legendary. May you both rest in peace. Former Beaver Gary Payton's career with the Seattle Supersonics. Like. Former figure skater, boxer, and automobile racing land speed record holder Tanya Harding is from Portland. Dislike. Phil Knight and Nike. Legend. Sweatshops. Not so legend. Oregon State Beaver Chad Ochocinco celebrations and antics. Legendary. Oregon State Spanish clashes could use some work. Oregon's Autzen Stadium built for sound. Like. Oregon has no sales tax. Double like. The 2010 Oregon Ducks, you had one job. Dislike. The 2014 Oregon Ducks, you had one job. Dislike. Ahmad Rashad, Dan Founts, Marcus Mariota, Haloti Ngata, all-time football name Norm Van Brocklin, and Mama Said Knock You Out like Garrett Blunt were Ducks. TJ Hushmanzada, Steven Jackson, Jaquiz Rogers, Brandon Cooks, and punting legend Johnny Hecker were Beavers. 2023 Oregon State Beavers, you have one job. Beat the Ducks.